Hello, hello. Today is February 27th, 2023. And the word of the day is self-realization. And the card of the day is judgment in reverse. And so self-realization is knowing who you are on a spiritual level and materializing that into the physical level, into the 3D level. And in order for this to happen, you have to really know it, like not only think it, but actually know it in your being. It's almost like there's a translation of your spiritual being into your physical being. And so what does that look like? It looks different for every human being. So self-realization of your purpose, and that's really what I want to talk about most because that's what's coming up. And when it comes to self-realization and manifesting your purpose, walking in your purpose is not always the easiest thing, especially because we have attachments to our jobs and what they provide us, our lifestyle, our relationships. So there are so many things that we're attached to that really requires a surrender of and a surrender to this new path of self-realization, of first awakening to that's even a possibility, and then actually walking it out. So knowing something and walking it out are two different things, right? Because you have all kinds of limiting beliefs that come up. And let's say you work at a job that's not your purpose. Well, you're thinking, and I know I've thought this, well, how am I going to pay my bills? How am I going to take care of my family? And it requires it requires a person going deeper and trusting that calling on their lives. And like I said, it's not always easy. It's a simple decision and choice. So it's just taking action into that direction of self-realization. So from self-realization, from purpose comes the unfoldment of self-realization of all the things like the mental, emotional, spiritual, physical, and financial. But it's through our purpose is how all of this starts to unfold or unravel into our lives, that opens up all the pathways to the things that we did not know are possible or can see possible. And I have a cough drop in my mouth. So, and that takes a level of trust. It takes a level of faith. It takes another level of surrender, if you will. And but until we like actually start walking in our purpose, and as much as we're willing to walk in our purpose, that much will be made clear to us, open to us. Those paths will be open to us because we are fully supported on all the levels when we walk into our purpose. With all that being said, the judgment card is the judgment card in reverse, which is perfect for today's topic of self-realization, because The Judgment card in reverse is saying that there are self-doubts and there is a hesitancy in moving forward with your divine purpose, with your soul's purpose in this incarnation. And there are not only internal obstacles, but external obstacles, but all internal obstacles are reflected outward because the universe is a mirror. It's showing us our own fears, our own doubts, our own hesitations. And so other people reflect those back to us. Whatever we're holding within us, other people are reflecting that back to us. And it's just information. It's not so much to judge yourself with. It's just like, oh, okay, this is information. This is where I have this in my energy field. This is what I'm thinking. And so what do I want to do about it? What can I do about it? How can I reach out to a person to help me move through this? If you don't know how to deal with it on your own. And so also, this is a card saying that there's a calling. The universe is calling, but you're not answering. You're choosing to ignore the call. And again, everything is a process, but to be aware and honest with ourselves and truthful with ourselves is what helps us take that next step. So it's not like if we are ignoring the call, we may not be ignoring the call 100%, but let's say we're ignoring the call, I don't know, 50%. So we're not 100% in. And this is saying that if you are passionate about something that you're doing, you need to step all in and not be afraid, not doubt yourself, because you do have what it takes to move forward in your purpose and in your calling. And also, this is a card saying that there's some need for introspection and self-reflection and clarity about areas of your life. And because of this unclarity, you can't see like what's there because it's kind of like sleepwalking. You're awake, but you're not conscious of everything that's going on. You're choosing to close your eyes instead of acknowledge the truth. And the way out of this is the introspection, the self-reflection. And you can do this, through meditation. You can do this through journaling. You could do this, walking in nature. You can do this however which way works for you. But the call is to be introspective and gain clarity, and don't just make things fit if they don't fit. Because you can do that, but it's like really, it's kind of like, it's not, the combination lock is really not unlocking, because in order to unlock the combination, clarity has to be there, to be honest with ourselves and to see circumstances and situations as they really are, not as we wish them to be. And again, I repeat, this is not always easy, but it is the path that will bring about freedom for you. And let's see, what else do I want to say about this card? I mean, basically, this is the Archangel Raphael, and this is a trumpet call, and these people are coming out from the grave. And really kind of like take responsibility for personal shortcomings, and also to forgive ourselves for, and be like not self-critical or really judging ourselves harshly, to not do that, because that also is, number one, it's abusive towards ourselves, and number two, it's not the reality. It's the ego really pushing itself into your divinity and saying, uh, you know, you deserve this judgment, or you deserve this criticism. And it could have started with somebody doing this to you, and then you adopted that as your own self-talk. But in reality, it could be generational, meaning, that person had people do that to them, and they did it to another person, and then that person did it to you. So these are like maybe like karmic or generational pass downs that can be broken by you. So you can say it stops with me. And I'm going to talk to myself in a self-compassionate way. And I'm going to talk to myself in a loving, compassionate way, self-loving way, compassionate way, assuredness, and kind of like, the universe has your back, instead of like, oh, you're going to fail. It's positive self-talk. And again, it could like this negative self-talk is, I mean, it could just be, some people have it heavier than others, right? Depending on how they grew up, and if their parents were very critical, or their teachers, or their environment, their society, they judged them pretty harshly if they made mistakes, and they got punished, and like just guilt and shame over mistakes of not being perfect. And so the key here is, in order to hear your call, it's time to self-reflect, forgive yourself for shortcomings or past mistakes, forgive others, and see things for what they are, even though you may not like them. And you might have to shift and change things, and also to not let other people's judgments and criticism dictate your choices. You are responsible for making your life what it is. And so this card is saying, don't sell yourself short. Do the thing that you need to do. Get clear, like slow down, don't make rash decisions. And it's not about throwing, the old out while you're moving into the new, but it's about honoring the old and the new. And like, so for example, let's say you're outgrowing your friends, but some friends have been there for you throughout the thick and thin, and you're having new people come into your life, and you're ignoring your old friends. You're just like, I moved on, da da da. But in reality, it all matters. Don't be so quick to make decisions. Actually think things out, plan things out, and gather all the information, and make your decisions from there. And this all ties into moving into your purpose and answering the call, hearing the call and not ignoring it. Because if we ignore the call, it gets louder. It's kind of like, I'm sure you've heard heard of the stories of people knew they needed to take time off work and they didn't listen until something major happened, like either they got into an accident, I mean, God forbid, or they got sick, and then they were forced to heed the call. So this is the card that's saying, get your, I don't want to say the bad word, SH, you know what I mean, together and face it by doing whatever you need to do and see things clearly, and you will be successful. You will move confidently forward, because all that stuff is just causing you to hesitate and stagnate. But the call's never going to go away. Your calling is not going to go away. It's just going to keep getting louder. The purpose of your life. So that's all I have for you today. I'm going to a girls' night out. I hope it will be fun. It's with some of my past girlfriends from CrossFit, and I'm looking forward to it. So I hope you have a good evening, whatever you're choosing to do, and I will see you tomorrow. Bye.